salve meus amigos e minhas amigas do YouTube, Luiz Leal de novo, com mais um vídeo para vocês. Dessa vez aqui em Copenhague, na Dinamarca, junto com meu amigo Nikolaj, que é o atual proprietário da Danish Pipe Shop. Então se você quer conhecer essa loja, pega o seu cachimbo da vez, o seu tabaco da vez, acomode-se e venha com a gente.
Yeah, I think we can take them all up so you see the colors here. And the whole idea behind the first sailor pipe was that Tom had this surplus briar from his normal production, so he had these tiny blocks. So that's how they started up making the design.
There's a bull pipe face here.
Yes.
This is so nice.
And this is the original smaller size without any stem.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's great. I like this one. So, Nikolaj, how many pipes do you have in the store right now for sale?
I think we have, I don't count them every morning, but from 4,000 to 5,000 pipes.
Wow.
Alone in this drawer, I think there's 2,000–3,000 pipes. In this,
here?
Yeah. This one has 90 drawers, so if you basically say there's 20–30 pipes in each drawer, then it's more than 2,000.
Wow.
So
that's a lot.
yes, but I mean, again, we sell around 7,000 to 8,000 pipes a year. So we turn everything around minimum.
Rotates.
Yeah. So
quite frequently.
Yeah, of course we have some pipes that stay here for a little longer than others, but that's how it is when you deal with the specialized products like this is, and especially some of the pipe designs we buy are very, very unique and special, so you need to find the right customer for it. And everything goes, even when people say, this is the craziest pipe I've ever seen, then we see it sell.
Yeah.
So, and actually when I was a kid, I went to Erik Erdik's factory that you are visiting with my father, and then we came up to this big pool table, and there were, I don't know, 500 pipes from Erik.
Wow.
And my father, he picked pipes for the shop. And I remember as a young kid, thought that my father took some very strange choices, because he always, Erik makes some very crazy pipes sometimes. And he always took those pipes. And I asked him, why do you always take the pipes that he has colored green or yellow? And then he says, well, they are the ones who shall get people's eyes to open and make the other stuff sell. But what also happened was that often these eye catchers, they were the first to sell. So basically I've just learned from him, yes.
And what was your father's name?
Stefan.
Stefan.
Yeah.
And he founded the Danish Pipe Shop?
Yes, he did, in 1969.
Wow.
But actually he took over a tobacco, wine and liquor shop.
Okay.
And for a while the guy he bought the shop from, he was then employed by my father. And I think it was in 73 he decided to take out all the liquor and then only have pipes. So basically it has been 100% pipe shop since then. Many ask me, why don't you have magazines and newspapers and stuff like that, but we are a pipe shop and tobacco shop. Sure. So, and in these days we have a lot of people asking for e-cigarettes and e-pipes, and that's, we throw them out. It's not our business. I mean,
for sure.
Seriously, I don't care if people like the e-cigarettes and e-pipes, it's fine with me, but it doesn't make sense for me that people ask for that here, because it would be the same as asking for nicotine gum, because, and nobody does that, but I don't know why. So yeah,
it's the trend nowadays, right? This anti-smoking patrol. So it's unfortunate. How is it here in Denmark?
I mean, of course, there are new regulations all the time on how the warning should be on the tobacco tins and cigarette packages. But in general, I think it has found some kind of stability. There's not a big war going on between non-smokers and smokers, and so I don't consider it to be a big problem. But of course, things have changed. We don't smoke in restaurants anymore. But you can find some bars here in Copenhagen where you are allowed to smoke. Yes. And then when in summertime, people, they just smoke outside at the cafes and restaurants.
That's great.
So, I think people are quite tolerant towards smoke here. Of course, you can find some crazy people, but in general, it's not a big problem to be a smoker, and we can see that. Our customers, they smoke on the street, and you see people actually smoke everywhere. Okay.
As we were talking yesterday, you told me that laws against smoking here in Denmark are quite restrictive, as in Brazil, but tradition overcomes the laws, right?
Yes, of course, if you have a big community of pipe smokers, even though they have increased taxes and done it, made it a little more difficult to be a smoker, then if you have 500,000 pipe smokers and and a lot of people stop smoking, then we still have around 150, 175,000 people left. So compared to Brazil, we had a bigger volume of pipe smokers before all this started. And actually the last couple of years we have seen a lot of new pipe smokers, especially cigarette smokers converting to pipe. And then secondly, we see a lot of guys just wanting to smoke pipe for a while when they are fishing, sailing, golfing, whatever they do. So these guys are not necessarily addicted to smoke. They do it for the taste and for the flavor and
for relaxation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
introspection.
Yes.
That's
and
cool.
I mean, from a business point of view, those guys are very interesting if we can keep them on, because they don't smoke that much. They will stay on the market for many years. And we can see that they don't mind buying a good quality tin of pipe tobacco. And one thing regarding Denmark and a lot of pipe smokers, one have to remember one thing: in the 70s and 80s and 90s, pipe tobacco was very, very cheap here. There was a special tax on pipe tobacco that made it much more attractive to smoke pipe compared to cigarettes. And so in those days, a lot of smokers chose to smoke pipe, not because they necessarily loved the pipe smoking, but because it was cheaper. So, and that situation has turned around. That's not how it is anymore. I think if you smoke cigarettes or pipes, it's basically the same financially. So I think that's a very important point to stress. So the pipe smokers that we have left are here because they love the smoke and the pipes and the tobacco.
Well, talking about tobacco, what is your customer's preference? I mean, they like aromatics, English?
There's no right answer on that. Okay. I mean, we sell everything from pure to super aromatic. We have 350 tobaccos on stock. And of course, some sell better than others, but in general, everything moves. And we are very good at monitoring. If something doesn't sell, we take it out.
I was taking a look at your tobaccos, and I see that there's a lot of my own blend. Can you explain to me what this my own blend is?
Yeah. Good question. My own blend is owned by a Scandinavian tobacco group. Yes, STG. And STG, they produce almost all the big brands and also old Swedish brands, Danish brands, and then they have this my own blend brand as well. And basically what they use my own blend for here in Denmark is that some of the big brands that are not selling good enough in pouches, it could be a tobacco called Hamilton from Sweden, it could be something called Scandinavic. What they do is that they put it on the tins of my own blends, because then they don't have to print Danish pouches and warnings, etc. But for many it's considered to be some of the best quality. I think they have 4 or 6 guys traveling around the world to find the best tobacco. My own blend was actually called Paul Olsen, and that was a pipe shop here in Copenhagen. And he had where you could come and then he mixed the tobacco. So some of the prescriptions, the numbers from my own blend is very, very old recipes. Yes. And in those days you could come in and say, I would like to design my own mixture. And then you could call it Brazil #1. And then you could come back and order exactly the same, and you could say to your friends, you can go down there and order Brazil #1.
That's great.
That doesn't happen in the same level, but still it is possible. We have some customers who are very specific and say, I would like a mixture of this and this and this, and then my own blend do it for them.
And they name it?
Yes.
Wow, yes. That's great.
The only thing with those types is that one has to order minimum 5 tins of 100 gram. Otherwise it's too little.
I see. Yeah, it doesn't compensate, right?
Yeah.
I see. And well, we talked about tobaccos, and now going to the pipes. We all know that Denmark has a great area of the best and the finest pipe makers in the world. Can you tell us a little about them? Are they your customers, your friends?
The pipe makers?
Yeah.
They are suppliers. So and friends. Many of them are friends. I mean, I think we have 95% of the top pipe makers, and the few we don't represent, they just don't produce enough to have access to customers. I really like the Danish pipe makers because it's a kind of community, and that's also why one of the reasons why they are successful. They talk to each other. They don't consider each other as competitors. So they, in a way, develop each other by discussing pipe design, and still they respect that this guy he likes this design, and this guy he likes another design. And, of course, some of the pipe makers consider each other as competitors, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, but in general they are all very good friends.
All good friends.
When we relocated and opened up this shop, we had 500 people at the opening, and basically all the pipe makers were here. Yeah, and drinking all my beer. So.
Oh, I see. I'm seeing there Tom Elton. You have some pipes by Elton.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
What else do you have from Danish pipe makers here?
Eric's. We can start here. Tom Elton. We have this is actually a Swedish guy we call Andreas Benwick, but I mean for us he is almost Danish.
Danish.
And then we have Ken Rasmussen, Teddy Knudsen. We have Anna Julie. We have Tao. We have Former. We have Lasse Skovgaard and Benny Jorgensen. We have one of the young guys called Henry Pipes. Henry Sorensen. Danish, everything is Danish. Peter Heding, one of our favorites, Soren, Erik Andersen, Erik Nielsen, Tony Nielsen, Winslow, Peter Jeppesen, Soren Refbjerg. This is actually a Bulgarian, so not Danish.
Okay.
Jos. Jos, not that many knows the name Jos, J-O-H-S, but actually he was the guy who made all the pipes marked Bjarne Pipes. Bjarne Pipes was a very big brand, and if you go on the estate market you can find a lot of Bjarne Pipes. And he's a fantastic guy. Then we have one called Dennis Moller, also a young guy. Then we have Niels Fredriksen, one of the hobby pipe makers, but very good and very skilled. A little special in his design. Up here we have also one of the young guys, Jon Vesterholm, also Danish. And then, as you said, Nørden, Stanley, Nero, which is the sub-brand of Peter Jeppesen. And I think that's it. Then from the Eltang we have the Copenhagen collection, which he makes especially for this shop. And what is very cool is that they have our logo stamped here, and then TE for Tom Eltang.
That's cool.
And these pipes are they are cheaper than his normal pipes, and the reason why is that it's not his first priority plywood that he used for it, but secondly the stems are acrylic stems that are pre-made that they adjust. So he skips a big part of the production by yes, but then you can get an Eltang pipe for a very fair price.
Wow. Não sei se você consegue mostrar. Aqui tem o logo da loja The Danish Pipe Shop e as iniciais do Tom Elton.
And it's even more clear here.
Olha outro aqui, ó.
Yeah. The devil ants, one of the most popular shapes today.
Yeah.
Yes. But basically that's the Danish side, and then we have Dunhill pipes, Peterson pipes, Rotary pipes. We have a Danish brand called White Star that is made in Italy, nice classical affordable pipes. We have of course a lot of estate pipes where we have them in sections of Danish, Stanwell, other countries, and English.
And I see you have a lot of accessories as well. Everything that a pipe smokers need,
Yes.
including those great bags.
Yes.
And I can see some Claudio Bieri there.
Yeah, Claudio, yes.
These are top quality.
Yeah, Claudio is probably the best you can get. It's of course also a higher price, but one has to remember that everything is handmade by him,
handmade, for sure.
And he makes one thing at a time. And I hope that people will appreciate his work, because he is doing a lot of work in promoting himself and making a business. But it's a tough business to start up in, because you can get a leather bag for 50 euro, and then you can get a leather bag for 500 euro. And people need to feel and know and understand the difference.
Since you talk about this difference of price, I get asked a lot by my audience if there is any difference between like a 50 euro pipe and a 5,000 euro pipe. Is there really any difference? What do you think?
Basically not in the smoking quality. You can be lucky and buy a pipe for 20 euro and then it smokes great. You can also be unlucky, and it's the same thing with a 5,000 euro pipe. You can actually buy a 5,000 euro pipe and then the smoke will not be the greatest smoke you have ever had. And people have to understand that it's a piece of nature that you cut into. You can understand and read the wood, but you can never judge it. You can never forecast how will this smoke. And it's a question I get often: is this a good smoker? And I say, I don't know.
I don't know.
And I mean, I have 70, 100 pipes myself, and I have maybe 4 or 5 that I've never became friends with, and I have no explanation. So I think if you're a pipe smoker, you just need to realize that's how it is. But gladly you have the whole estate market. So today, if you buy a pipe, you can always sell it again. Of course you can't probably get the full price, but you can get some of your money back. So that's how I do it.
Yes.
And ship them to the next one. And maybe the next guy, he will say, this is the best pipe I've ever smoked on. It's, so that everybody is looking for some kind of mathematical solution to this, and it doesn't exist. I've been in pipes my whole life. You can ask Eric later today and he will say the same.
The same thing.
Yeah. So that's how it is. Yeah.
Just you mentioned about shipping. You ship your products worldwide.
Worldwide, yes.
Except for tobaccos.
Some countries tobacco are very tricky, and unfortunately Brazil is one of them. So I wouldn't order tobacco if I'm in Brazil. Shipping pipes and accessories for Brazil is not a problem. But tobacco is actually forbidden. Yes.
Forbidden.
But many countries it is forbidden. But the thing with in Europe here, where you have the EU and the open borders, there are not that strict control on packages going from Denmark to Sweden, Sweden to Denmark, etc. So it's not a problem within the EU, and for instance we ship a lot to the States as well, and we don't have any problems with that. So
can you mention some other countries in which it is forbidden to send? Because Brazilians tend to think that only Brazil is like that.
Russia, Turkey, Israel.
They're all forbidden.
It is. To be honest, I don't know if it's forbidden, but I know it's impossible to get tobacco in. When we ship it to those countries, we get it back. It simply gets refused by the custom control.
I see.
So
it works just like Brazil.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Russia, Brazil, actually also Norway and India. So, but as I told you yesterday, the Brazilian custom control, they are very, very good. They find everything, and it's the same with the Turkish custom control. I'm very impressed by them because I mean, I can't imagine the amount of packages going into Brazil or Turkey, but still they catch it. I don't know if it's dogs or scanners.
They find wherever they want.
Yeah.
When they don't want, they never find it.
So buy your pipes and accessories, and then find a friend visiting Copenhagen and have him or her to bring it to Bangkok. Actually, we see a lot of orders where it's people from outside Denmark ordering, and then they order it as a pickup. Then they have some friend visiting, so they pay for the tobacco, and then the friend comes and pick it up here, which we don't mind.
I just saw one of your oldest clients here coming in.
Mm?
What's his name? I forgot his name.
John, or Mr. Tula.
Mr. Tula.
Yeah.
How long has he been a customer of yours?
He has smoked pipe for all his life, but exactly how many years he has come in our shop, I'm not sure, but at least 15-20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I think so.
And you started smoking pipe when
I was 13, 14.
13, 14, wow.
Yeah, I think when you were the son of my father and you visited the pipe shop, they gave you pipes as presents.
Okay. It's natural.
Yeah, so that's how it is.
That's so. Actually, these are a family of Cubans who fled Cuba when the revolution took in, Fidel Castro, and they started going to all countries in the world to seek for the best soil and the best climate, so that they could actually plant their cigars. Yes, this is just a small appreciation for receiving me here, for your time.
You shouldn't have done that. No.
I hope you like.
Thank you very much.
These are top cigars from this, Dona Flor is a brand. Actually, she's a character of a famous novel written by a famous author in Brazil called Jorge Amado.
Okay, thank you very much.
No,
I appreciate that.
I appreciate your time and for receiving us. And
you're always welcome.
Your wonderful pipe shop.
Yeah.
So now it's my time to shop, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to say? You want to invite our audience? It's not only Brazilian audience, actually it's all Latin America.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, if they want pipes and accessories, they shouldn't be afraid of shopping here. We are used to handling export. I think for many in South America, they are a little hesitant because it's a long distance, and and I always say, if anything goes wrong, we will always find a solution. We've been in business for soon 50 years, and we don't cheat our customers. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
For sure.
Don't stress about it. We get a lot of questions by email, and we try to answer them as well as we can. But basically, if they study our website, all the questions that you might have is answered there. And we launched a new website in this summer, which I think is fantastic and very nerdy. You can go in and you can look for pipes in different grams or length, weight, etc. So there are so many filters that you can adjust. And an important thing as well is that you can choose to see the prices in dollars or euro, and you can actually check out and pay in dollars or euro, so you don't have to do the conversion. And
for people who purchase in outside the EU, then they get the VAT free, right?
Automatically, when you choose any country in South America, then 20% will be deducted when you exit.
Okay.
And that will be very clear when you check out and pay. You will see the price and minus the VAT or the taxes, and then your bottom price.
Great.
So it's a very easy system. But of course, if any have any questions, they can always email us.
That's great. What is the address of the website?
DanishPipeShop.com. So
okay, we're going to write it down so that you can see.
You may do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I just had a meeting with the Danish Postal Service who service us, and they have no clients that has such big diversity in the number of countries they ship to. I mean, we ship literally to India, Hawaii, USA, Canada, Dubai, Sweden, Norway, Finland, everywhere. And we have done it for quite many years now, so we have the experience.
For sure.
So, but don't order tobacco.
No.
Then you will get an email from us that it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea, and the responsibility is not on you.
Yeah, and the problem, just to explain it, the problem for us is that people who buys only tobacco, and we know it's going to be a problem, we say no because, to be honest, we have a 10% profit on tobacco. Okay. So it's a lot of work and a lot of time wasted on nothing.
On nothing.
And the only thing you get out of it is a customer that is stressed, and we work for free, basically. So that's why we are becoming a little more strict about that, because in the old days we were nice and then we thought maybe it will go well, and when you have done that 50 times and found out that it didn't go well, then you should maybe just, so that's what we are doing right now.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. So Nikolaj, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It was a pleasure being here, meeting you personally, and now it's my time to shop.
Yeah, but just spend all your money. I don't mind.
All I can. Então é isso, pessoal. Espero que vocês tenham gostado desse vídeo aqui na Danish Pipe Shop. Assim como eu adorei ter feito. Eu não pude fumar aqui, depois eu explico para vocês. Tive um probleminha de sinusite, coisa e tal, então estou tomando remédio. Porque é o que dá, brasileiro querer vir para a Escandinávia no inverno, é isso que acontece, né? A gente sempre acha que vai estar bem preparado, mas não está. Mas é isso, espero que vocês tenham gostado. Vocês viram tudo que o Nikolaj falou. Entre no site da Danish Pipe Shop, dá uma olhadinha e qualquer coisa, como ele disse, manda um e-mail para eles que eles vão ter o maior prazer em atender vocês, ok? Grande abraço a todos e até a próxima.